Yeah, I've got to be.
Hello, Judy.
Good morning, Lisa. How are things?
I'm doing, things are going well. I guess you didn't ask me how I'm doing. You asked me how things were going.
Well, and how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Me too.
Okay, so you're ready to jump into things. We've been talking for a few minutes. We got kind of a late start, but no worries. So
No
today we are
worries.
talking about um we're
Writing
talking about
tools.
writing tools.
Hmm.
Yes, and I was looking so forward to this. It's been fun, really evaluating, analyzing, and finding my collection of things that I've been writing for a while.
Yeah, bring that out and show it.
Okay.
It's pretty awe-inspiring, actually.
Okay. So what I found is I am, you know, let me go back a little bit. When I was a kid, we at one point in one grade were supposed to bring in a collection. And I felt so bad because I really didn't have a collection. Now, mother, when she was growing up, she had a collection of shells and she had a butterfly collection.
Hmm.
But me, I really never had a collection.
I had
And so,
ceramic dogs.
did you?
Yeah, they covered the whole top of my bookshelf, every kind of dog in a ceramic form.
I remember that.
Hmm?
What happened to them?
I don't know.
Really?
In some move, they got gone.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't know. They're probably somewhere around. No, I don't know.
No doubt they're in some box somewhere that you haven't opened in years, right?
Yeah, it could be.
That maybe knowing you. Okay,
No,
so
me.
collections. And so at one point, one of my friends had a collection of matchbooks.
Oh.
And she had this gigantic matchbook that each of the it had paper strips inside that were like looped, and you would put a matchbook on it, in
Mm-hmm.
it. You'd
Mm-hmm.
open up this gigantic matchbook, and then there were matchbooks inside. Well, I told Grandma is that I wanted to collect matchbooks. Oh my God. I
Big
mean, she would come,
mistake. Big mistake. You probably
she,
got matchbooks from the world.
and I still have them and we still use them. How many years
That's
later?
funny.
Well, I mean, they were never really special. I mean, they were just, she also collected silver spoons from different states. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why she thought that would be exciting for me. And I actually had this little spoon holder. I got rid of those a while ago because they really had no,
No meaning.
uh-uh.
Yeah, they had
But
meaning to her because she collected them.
yeah, well, no, she brought them for me.
I know, but it was her collecting them that was fun for her,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Exactly. But the thing that I have collected is I have collected writing over the years, my own personal writing and things that people have written to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, I mean, I don't know that many people have ever had that kind of a collection. So
I
the,
think some people have like a packet tied in a ribbon of love letters or something like that, but nothing to compare to your collection.
okay, so here's the beginning of my collection. Okay.
Your journals.
My journals. And here is now it used to have a construction paper cover.
Okay.
That glue died a long time ago, and I don't know where that cover went to. But what's really fun is when I open this up, I've talked about this in the past, how I would get diaries for Christmas. And I remember the last
Mm.
one I got was a 5 year diary. And it had the dates, the January 1st, January 2nd. And it would just have, like room for like 3 sentences. And I even found that overwhelming because then by January 5th, I was already behind
Behind. Yep.
and I couldn't catch up because I couldn't remember what happened on January 2nd.
I get
And
overwhelmed when I get behind.
so that's gone. But this, can you see what that says?
That says January. Well, it says 1979. I can read that.
January 19th, 1979.
79. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see. You were born in 1964. 64. So 79. So you were 15.
I just turned 15. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like as I look through it, I mean all the pages are separate. The glue died in it. but I've also kept in here letters from my first boyfriend.
Hmm?
This one right here, the first one that I picked out, it has a big sentence in the second, in the middle of it. It says, "You prove you're good enough for me, or forget it."
Ooh,
So there,
bye
that's from him
bye.
to me.
Yeah,
Well, I was with him for a while. I mean,
yeah, I know.
ugh,
I don't know why.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, as I look through this, it is a capsule. Here's another one I put in here. I found this in a pile in the bottom of closets. You got $2 for cleaning. Shape up, the maid. A love letter from my mother.
Ah, your
We don't have
mother
a
is,
maid.
she
This
writes
is
some of the funniest ones. Don't you have her college, the red letters she wrote to you in college?
it's amazing that you should ask that because yes, I have them on my desk right around here. Some oh, there they are. Yes, I have every letter she wrote me
And
during my
it's all on
freshman
the
year of
same
college.
stationery.
All the same stationery, and they say used to be a man's world and a woman's place. It used to be that it was a man's world and a woman's place was in the home. They can kiss that shit goodbye.
Ah,
So I have
that's your
all of her
mother.
letters to me, and I have these journals of mine, and some of them are notebooks. Some of them, are just really beautiful. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
love this one,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
That
Um,
reminds me, I didn't pull out that one. I've got a
yeah,
leather one that I just love.
some of them, like this one here, this one's kind of cool because this year I actually, in the very back of it, I kept a list of all the books that I read that during while I was writing in this journal.
I like that idea. I've actually got a special journal that's got all the books that I've
Oh,
read in it. And it's like, yeah. And then if I loan them to somebody, then I write that down. And I mean, it's got my problem is I'm inconsistent. So I grab one journal, then I grab another. So they're all mixed up. So I have to date them. Like here, you remember the fish philosophy?
yes, yes.
Well,
As a matter of fact, I just looked that up the other day.
I took notes on the fish philosophy
Oh,
and added my own little pictures and stuff because I love that philosophy. And it's just interesting how it takes you back in time.
it
And
does.
as I'm opening things, they're dropping things on the floor. Ah, let's see if I can reach it. Yeah, what was that? Okay, just a business card that fell out. It's so interesting how you start going through it. You go, I remember that. I have a special journal that when Matthew's confirmation class went down to Mexico for I think we were gone a week and we drove down there. Our pastor and Dr. Earhart drove us down there, and our two purposes were we built several little concrete buildings for people that had been washed out in a flood. And
Okay.
the other thing was we ran eyeglass clinics where um, we had this machine that would tell what their eyeglass
Prescription would be.
yeah, and we had, I mean, Dr. Earhart brought down his collection of eyeglasses, and it was really fun. But on the drives down there, going to different states and what the states had, like Texas had some of the most inappropriate billboards I've ever seen, and the boys would see them and they'd read them to me, so I'd make a square and I'd write what it said in there, and it's got all these things and then funny things people said, and where we
Oh,
ate and kind of funny
a
things we
trip
ate.
journal.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really fun, and I
Mhm.
still have that here somewhere. I've got, I guess if I really turned this around and showed you, this whole thing is full of innocuous journaling books. But my
Huh.
problem is I don't go consecutive. It's whatever journal I grab, I write in it. So, it's one more thing I need to organize instead of being organized, but I've decided it really doesn't matter. They're mine.
Exactly. Exactly. So today I want to just talk about, well, we're kind of introducing of collections. And then I want to talk about writing both like on paper and then
Hmm.
using a computer and why and how and what the difference is and,
Hmm.
kind of pick your brain about that.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Cool. Yeah. So the other thing that I found is I also have some journals when I was a kid in high school, this journal right here, it actually, I got grades. It was a journal that I wrote for my class. They were trying
Wow.
to get us to write just regularly. And I
Mm-hmm,
thought,
mm-hmm.
wow, I wonder if they still do that anymore. I doubt it. But
I don't know. I never got graded for a journal.
it wasn't that you got graded on the writing, you got graded on the quantity.
Uh-huh. Okay. That makes
And
sense.
so if you did 6 or more pages, you got an A. So you can see I did 6, 7, 8 pages a week.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of
Well,
like,
and they're trying to establish a habit.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I don't think that that accomplished it, but it's fun to look back, and it's interesting writing a journal that somebody's going to read.
Oh, much more structured and much more careful, don't you
Well, and
think?
I wonder if I was really honest
That's
or
a
if
good
he even
question.
read them, but there
You
was
probably
that
just
still
counted the pages, huh?
right. Yeah, I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
Unless maybe if he found you interesting, maybe he would, or maybe if he would read random ones. And if somebody was, I don't know, he never commented or anything.
Sounds like
I,
a pretty easy grading assignment on his part.
yeah, yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
okay, Lisa's got 6 pages. A, at least John's got 1 page.
Yep.
C, kind of.
So the other thing that I have, and I didn't show you this before, I have this.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember, it's a writing table, and
Right?
inside you're supposed to keep writing stuff. And inside mine, pretty much every letter that anybody has ever sent me, even some postcards.
I bet you don't have a
Kept
lot of
in-
mine in there.
You sent cards. These are mostly letters.
Well, the reason I said that is I'm just a terrible letter writer. I probably didn't send you 10 letters in your lifetime. So,
Right. Yes. And these once again go all the way back to middle school. I've also got like this envelope here. I have got every love letter from my ex-husband.
oh my gosh.
Mhm. Just every love letter he ever sent me. And the other kind of crazy thing is I remember when we were cleaning out his dorm room at the end of one semester, and I can remember he had all my love letters to him
Uh-huh.
and he threw them away.
Oh my goodness. What
And
does
I
that
can
mean, I
remember
wonder?
what?
What does that mean, I wonder?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Hello. Was that not a sign? Was that not a sign?
I think it might have been. Yep, might have been a sign.
I can
Well,
remember it
because I
hurt
think
my
he,
feelings at the time, and I just kind of brushed it off. And I thought, well, they're just not important to him. And I tried not to read any more into it. But
well, there's a metaphor that comes out in my mind, and that is that he threw a lot of things away, including his life.
yeah, yeah.
So, it was a different mentality. It wasn't a keeper saver mentality. Nice cup.
You like that? Yep.
I
It's
do.
our Sidetrack Sisters cup
Yeah.
with the four of us.
Why can't I find anything today? I have my Sidetrack Sisters cup here somewhere, but I think I need to clean my office. It's a mess. Goodness. Yeah, it's missing. My cup
So
is
now,
missing.
Judy,
Yeah.
you and we both like to write with a pen or pencil in a journal. Why do you
Up
think that
until a
is?
few weeks ago, we do. Yeah.
Yes. Why do you think
I
that is?
I just find that when I write on a computer, I think part of it is when I write on a computer, I usually do that for business. Like if I'm writing a
Hmm.
business letter, or if I'm writing a business paper or something that, a planning piece or something.
Mhm.
But when I write for pleasure or I write for myself, my own writing, when I put a pen to paper, it triggers another part of my brain and I become more creative. I find things in there. It's like finding hidden treasures in my mind. And I don't seem to access them when I'm writing on the computer. Not to say I can't write okay on the computer, but
Mhm,
it's not the depth of writing that I get when I write with
mhm.
pencil and paper. How about you? What do you find with that?
I totally agree. When I'm at home or I'm just writing for me, it's almost like that pencil is a symbol of it tells my brain, just let it all hang out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely I like writing with Flair pens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also different colors, but I like the feel of them. I like the shape or a nice gel um thick rollerball pen. And
I write with Sharpies, they're
oh,
gel pens, I guess. I like those. And then
okay.
I work at Marshfield Medical Center and they have really nice pens, so they're a second choice.
Ooh, okay. And so just recently though, Mom and Michelle, they write on the computer. They type on the computer their thoughts for
Right.
our weekly writings. And what's interesting though is their careers were focused and utilized computers or typewriters.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're very comfortable and I think they can get into that same zone using a keyboard. And I mean, mother will even say she can't even think with a pencil. She can
Mm-hmm.
only think on a computer or a typewriter. And those
I think
letters that I
she
have of
hates
hers.
the process of writing. Her
Mhm.
letters in college were typed, right?
Yep, yep,
Yep.
yep. See,
Mm-hmm.
she typed
Yep.
them to me.
Yep. Absolutely. I think it's really interesting that she used the same stationery the whole time you were in college. I mean, if I had written to you in college, it would have been on this piece of paper and that piece of paper. It would have been all different, but she was consistent. She stuck with
Yes.
the same. So you opened the envelope, there was a stationery. Oh, letter from mom, right?
Exactly. So, but now, okay, a few weeks ago, I didn't bring my notebook, but I had my computer. And so I closed my eyes and I was able to access that same place. So, and now, I mean, usually I write with, in a journal or in a notebook, and then I'll come home and I'll process and edit on the computer. And it's
That's my
like
process as well.
it's a step in preparing it for other people to see it. Where
Right.
Michelle, she does it right there. I mean,
One and
she's got
done. Yep.
every picture known to man from her life on her computer too. So she's able to drop and drag and do everything. I mean, literally, she's able to get everything done for her posting that week while we're sitting at the table.
I
It's
know. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I have picture files everywhere and I have, what did I tell you? 15 boxes of photographs upstairs in my office or in my craft room. And you would think that after going through them as many times as we have to find pictures, that there'd be some level of organization. There's not. So I
not
have
so
to go through
much.
them all every time.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And I do the same thing. I keep thinking, Michelle sat down and she went, Bradley, family, Nathan, Jet. I mean, she's sorted all her pictures out. So she's able to quickly and easily find things.
And then she's got a little scanner that's like super quick. I mean,
Mm-hmm,
she has the
mm-hmm.
pictures, she scans them in, and then she's done. She doesn't have to keep the pictures.
Right. Yes.
But
Isn't
then
that
again,
awesome?
Michelle has computer skills that I think are so enviable. I mean, I wasn't raised in that generation and I didn't have her college education. I mean, she's done so well. And wouldn't that be fun?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily something that you need to emulate though. I mean, part of the thing is
There's no way in hell I could emulate that if
it
I
is
lived
what
to
it
be
is. I
another
think it's
73.
totally, I mean, we write the way we write, and
Mhm.
I've been playing around with it. You can always grow and change and adapt. And yeah, I mean, what's kind of exciting is I can't wait to get my new journal. So one of the recent things Michelle has done is she has started putting different kinds of journals on an Amazon site for us, ones that
Right.
she has created especially for people that follow the Sidetrack Sisters.
Oh, I love them too. She's got our individual logos.
Logos.
I almost call them mantras because that's kind of what they are. Like
Mhm,
my
mhm.
covers are orange and they have dragonflies all over,
Dragonflies.
and
Mine are
yours have
green
the
with the
fern
leaves.
leaves. Yep. Hmm.
Yep.
And I think they're so cool, but I think that
Mhm.
I will number them, and I think, and I get a few of those journals, that will be my writing tool because
Yeah.
I want to organize them.
Cool. And what I really like about the journals, whether it be on paper or is it on the computer, I like I like having an actual thing. Personally, technology, Michelle did at one point have an online journal where she wrote and she had a secret password on it so she could, utilize it. And guess
Mhm.
what?
The computer crashed.
No, she can't find it anymore. And it and
Oh,
or was it she can't remember her password? One of the two. But it's out there. It is there, but it's
wow.
unaccessible now. But you know, when I look at my journals, this will always be accessible.
Always.
I
Unless
mean,
the
unless I mean,
unle
I don't
unless
keep
the
it in a
mice
safe,
or
so there could be a fire or flood. But you
or
know,
paper fleas or mice or something could eat it up.
oh, what are those silverfish?
Right. Ooh, ugly.
Ew.
Blech. Not
I just
nasty
won't put them in
thought.
the attic. Silverfish. I just remember at Grandma Iz's house there were silverfish up in her attic that
Yep.
would make they would eat paper.
They made nests.
Ooh, that's
Pretty
gross.
gross. Yeah, well, the secret of that is don't keep your journals in the attic.
Don't keep your journals in the attic. No. Um, what do you think about having people having access to them? Do you think Matthew has ever looked at your journals?
No.
Mm-mm.
No, and I don't even think he's really read our blog very often, although once in a while he'll say something that lets me know that he's been reading, and but no, not the journals. He's very private, and I think he respects the privacy of me as
Hmm.
well.
Interesting.
So I think if I gave him permission, but he's also not very nosy, so he probably doesn't even notice my journals. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
Back in
interesting.
the day, we weren't entertained 100% of the time by electronic devices. And so I can remember being at grandma's house and just like rummaging through closets and going up into the attic and exploring,
Uh-huh.
And so if I was a kid and I found a journal, oh my God, I would read it. I mean, I would
That
look for juicy stuff.
that would be a
Um,
treasure, yeah.
yeah, it would be a treasure. Um, but I don't think, Aubrey has read. Oh, okay. Now, there is something that happened this week. I said, "Oh, Aubrey, you are going to die when you read my writing this week." I said, "Do you remember the story? Have I ever told you the story about the time I hurt myself on the bike?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, let me put it this way. It's got a great title. My title for my writing this week is called My Broken Vajayjay." And she goes, "Mom." And I said, "What is that a problem?" She goes, "Do you know that people at my school read your stuff? And they tell me that they've read it or they've seen it." And it was like, well, they're gonna have something to talk about this time.
Ah, oh, that's so funny. I think
So
that's
she
funny.
might not read everything, but there are people that she knows that do.
Do you know that is so interesting because we write, and one of the things that has been kind of a mystery to us is we get very few comments on our blog. And yet, I run into people all the time that say, "Oh, I just love you girls' stuff. I just love the writing." And I go, "I don't think I've ever seen a comment from you." And she goes, "Oh, I don't comment, but I love reading it." And it's like, "Oh, comment, talk to us." No, 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 no,
Give us a
no.
little love. Come on, give us a little love.
Yeah, yeah. Let us know what you're thinking. It's people are very private. They're very private. I said, I do that to a few people, but I call it stalking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Okay, well,
goodness.
Judy, let's wrap things up. So basically, we haven't made any decisions here. There is
No,
no one best writing tool. I
no.
encourage people to collect their writing and not, you know, you want to know what really traumatizes me? Have you ever been to a writing a church convention or some kind of event where they tell you to get your feelings on paper and then either rip it up and throw it away or throw it in the fire and burn it?
Yes.
I can't do that.
No, I can't either. I hide it somewhere because I'll burn a blank piece of paper, but I won't burn what I wrote
No, it
because
feels too important. My feelings and my thoughts just feel like something of value, whether they're good or bad, whether they're filled with hate and anger and frustration, or if they're all, rainbows and unicorns.
they're who you are. And
Yeah.
the other thing is, and this may be really divulging secrets, but I have a terrible memory. So if you said to me like an hour after, what did you write? I'd have to go, I don't know, unless I have the paper. And then I could like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I said this and I said that. But I want to remember what I wrote. And yeah, that's why if you look at my office, I have way too much paper because I'm so afraid I'm going to forget important stuff, you know. But anyway, back to the writing tools. I think our point here is no matter what you use, if it's a notebook, if it's a computer, if it's a journal, it can be something as simple as like, I just bought a spiral notebook for certain
Mhm.
kinds of journaling. That's perfect. But I encourage you to put a date on it and keep it somewhere
Oh,
where,
the date is so important. I
yeah, like
hate
that
when I wrote,
1970.
I've recently found some stuff and it just said like February 18th, but it didn't put the year on it.
I
It's like,
know.
what was I thinking?
When was I thinking that? You know, you kind of want to put it in perspective with where it fits in the paradigm of who you are, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, so I think again our point is if you're going to do legacy writing, if you're just going to do writing for fun, you know, we're not saying you have to do legacy writing. We'd love to work with you on that, but use whatever medium speaks to you. It could
Hmm.
be that beautiful leather bound notebook or a journal. It could
Yep.
be a spiral notebook. It can be your computer. And I encourage you, if it's your computer, you know, back it up so that you don't lose it.
Amen.
But, you know, anything you want. I mean, but now, no, take away the but. And we encourage you to write down what you're thinking.
Yeah.
20 years from now, you won't remember what you thought, and it might be fun just for you to review it.
Yeah.
Maybe this legacy writing thing is not always about other people. Maybe it's just about you.
And honoring where you've been and what you've done and what you've learned.
Hmm.
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 I agree.
Have
Okay,
you ever?
Judy,
Okay. Hey,
we
this
got to
was
wrap things up
fun.
here. Well, it's been a
Yeah.
fun one. Love you.
Love you too. Have a
Okay.
great day.
Hey,
Okay.
thanks. You too. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye now.